Hello, disruptors, and welcome back to Mindset Mastery Moments, the show that doesn't just challenge the way you think, it calls you to shift the way you live, lead, and love. I'm your host, of course, Dr. Alisa White, the #1 mindset disruptor. And today, this conversation is one I've waited would it be an exaggeration to say my whole life to have? Because when you get to meet some individuals on your life's journey, it is definitely something that you can only hope for. And that's what we get here. We bring so much of treasure to your moments. Here's the truth. Success doesn't protect you from stress. Status doesn't shield you from trauma. And sometimes the very drive that makes you exceptional is also what makes you silently exhausted. And I am speaking from my very own experience. Today, we're digging deep past the surface, past the symptoms, and into the unconscious patterns that are really running the show. You know that there's a bunch of things turning in your engine of your life, your mind, that are running the show, and you don't even know it. Let me introduce you to someone who has helped tens of thousands of people heal what they didn't even know needed healing. And I'm telling you, I guarantee you, there are things that need to be healed in you and I that we don't even know to be healing. His name is Dr. Brian Alman and is one of the world's foremost experts on the unconscious mind. My honor today. Mind-body healing. With over 25 years of experience, he has coached everyone from Fortune 500 execs to frontline health workers and children, helping them resolve trauma, eliminate chronic stress, and reconnect to their inner wisdom. He is the co-creator of the ACE treatment solution, working directly with Dr. Vincent Felitti, one of now famous adverse childhood experiences, which is, the ACE. And as a previous early childhood educator myself, we got real crazy in the late 2000s, the mid 2000s to just a few years, ACE, ACE, ACE. And ACE is really a landmark in understanding how trauma literally changes our biology. And y'all know I'm going to get really raw and rip some Band-Aids off here today. Well, actually not Band-Aids, but maybe just covers because you don't know about it. Let me tell you, Dr. Alman's work has helped reduce medical visits by 35%, emergency visits by 11%, and has saved Kaiser Permanente billions in healthcare costs. He's written 15 books on trauma and stress, including Less Stress Now, The Doctor of Last Resort, and Less Stress for Kids. But what makes him really different is this. Dr. Alman doesn't just talk about trauma, he teaches how you heal it without meds. Without meds. I'm going to say that again. Without meds. Without years of therapy. With a science-backed process that meets you where you are and takes you exactly where you're meant to be and where you want to go. So let's get into it today. Dr. Alman, I know it was long, but I had to share with our viewers and listeners just a little bit about your, can we call it your monumental rap sheet? Welcome to Mindset Mastery Moments, Dr. Alman. We're so blessed and honored to have you.
I am so happy to be here, and I really want to thank you for all of the work and the creative energy that you put into your podcast, because I've been watching them, I've been listening to them, I've been studying them, and you're a giver. You are making such a difference in the world, and I want to encourage your viewers to give you a 5-star rating. I did mine on you at Apple. So go to Apple, give her a 5-star rating, because the work you're doing, helping the world be a better place, contributing, your podcasts are gifts. Every one of them is unique. And I'm moved by them, and I'm in the field, and I've been in the field for a long time. So I really want to encourage everybody to do what I did. Go to Apple or maybe go to Spotify, wherever you do it, but give a 5-star rating for this podcast. This is extraordinary. So, of course, I'm very happy to be here with you.
Oh, Dr. Alman, you made me cry already. And we just started to know. We haven't started talking about ACEs yet. I am so appreciative of you for someone who has put in the amount of effort and work in this industry of just really healing and recovering and doing it without medication. And you keep going till now, and you allow me to be a part of your world. It's my honor. And I'm not going to let you go. So be careful here. I'll be like, okay, now, mentor, where are you? You're already a mentor in my head. Dr. Alman,
Thank you.
in your own words, share with us who you are, what you do, and I have to ask you why you do it.
Okay. Well, exactly how you introduced me. I help people connect with their inner doctor, their inner wisdom, their unconscious mind, deeper than their subconscious mind by far. And the way that I learned how to do what I do and what I do professionally, what I write books about, teach people, facilitate people, I was born missing part of my back, part of L4 and L5. So I was in chronic pain. Anybody that's in pain out there knows being in pain is a full-time job. You have to really think about, how am I? Will I be okay? Can I do this? Can I not do that? Now, when I say that, that's true about physical pain, emotional pain, psychological pain, family pain, even social, cultural, financial pain. And so I got into the field because of my own work that I needed to do that I thought was strictly physical because you could see it in the x-ray, and I'd been to many, many doctors. It turned out, I learned after working with Dr. Felitti and as we were developing the ACE study and the treatment solutions, that all pain is psychological. It's biological. It's emotional. It's social, because we are holistic beings. So everything impacts us, psycho-emotional, social, in all ways. So I had my own work to do. And everybody knows, whether it's trauma or physical pain or family pain, we look, we search, we yearn, we try to find the best answers. And I did the same thing. I did lots of things for my pain. I tried so hard. And in my search, I kept finding a person by the name of Milton Erickson, a medical doctor. He'd written the most articles, the most books about pain, and he was born and was healthy, and then he got polio as a teen. Then he had chronic pain. He was actually not supposed to make it through his teen years. I met him when he was 75.
Wow.
Just to give you an idea that he practiced what he preached. Medical doctor, his polio, his pain. So I wrote to him a handwritten letter. Dr. Alisa, I said, hey, would you be open to teaching me? I told him the story I just told you and your viewers about my pain. I really love to learn how to help myself and help other people. And he said, in a handwritten letter back to me, if you get a medical degree or a PhD in psychology, I will train you. So I wrote him back a handwritten letter and said, I don't really want to get a PhD in psychology. I don't really want to get a medical degree. I just want to learn how to help myself and help other people. He wrote me back another handwritten letter. If you get a PhD in psychology and MD, okay. So he convinced me. I moved from Massachusetts, where I'm from, to the West Coast. He was in Phoenix, and I got into a master's and PhD program in San Diego, and that's where I still am. And I just traveled back and forth to Phoenix for those years getting training. I was very unfortunate in a lot of ways because even before I got my master's degree, my mother got ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's called the Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yes.
And she was in her 40s, and she went from the peak of her life to basically deteriorating over the course of a year or two. So I became a patient of Dr. Erickson's, not just a student.
Okay.
And that was incredibly helpful. That was obviously an ACE. That was very traumatic. Anyone that's lost a parent or a sibling or even a grandparent, we know how traumatic that is.
Been there, yes.
You've been there. So
Yes.
you know how hard that is. It was the most pain I'd ever felt emotionally, mentally. I couldn't even imagine it could happen to
And it
people.
takes a minute and I let myself, I let myself go through it. There's moments still.
Right.
There's
Right. And Dr. Erickson, in addition to training me in becoming a healer of me, he encouraged me to write my first book, which became very popular, not just in the United States, but in other countries. He encouraged me and helped me write my doctoral dissertation, thank goodness, although he was a real student, so it was actually extra challenging, but it came out extra good.
Yeah.
Helped me write my first medical journal article, which is also very popular, and helped me get my first job teaching in a university. And I'm still trying to get my master's degree, training, amazing kind of mentoring, and being in San Diego, where Kaiser Permanente is, where Dr. Felitti is.
Yes.
He had heard about the classes I was teaching at UCSD, told me what he was working on. The ACE study wasn't even done yet. The questions weren't even finished. Asked if we could meet. We met, and he loved what I was doing. I loved what he was doing. And I became the treatment solution founder and director of the ACE study at Kaiser with him. So he'd refer me all the people that had gone through trauma, and that was an amazing bridge from Dr. Erickson to Dr. Felitti. Now we've been collaborating on a weekly basis for 25 years. So, of course, we're friends and colleagues and all of that. So that's how I got to do what I'm doing now. The department that Dr. Felitti ran at Kaiser for 25 years is called Health Appraisal. They were seeing 25,000 people a year. So he was sending me the people who just weren't getting better, and they couldn't figure out why. They'd lose the weight, gain it back. They would feel better, and then they'd go back to what they were doing. A lot of yo-yoing, and a lot of traumatic cases, extremely difficult lives that are hard to imagine unless you went through them.
Yes.
And really different. One of the referrals was a concentration camp survivor from when she was 7 years old and couldn't swallow food. She had to eat baby food in her 60s because of the surgeries that were unnecessary she had when she was in a concentration camp. Wow. And just the people that I saw, a lot of sexual abuse, people that had never really dealt with it, never even thought how much it was impacting them.
Right. There was more.
All the ACEs, the emotional abuse, the neglect, which is actually Dr. Felletti's own ACE. He had gone through neglect. So he was motivated, like I was, to do the study and do the work because of his own ACE. We've done videos about this together, talking about our ACEs. Now, ACEs, as you brought up, adverse childhood experiences, things like problems in the household, losses, abuse, suicide, incarceration, all the traumas the 10 most common traumas are the 10 ACE questions. And you'd be curious, and your listeners, your viewers would be curious, but people used to say, I got a 0. I didn't have sexual abuse. I didn't have neglect. I got a 0. So why do I have an autoimmune illness? Why do I have sleep problems? Why am I? So we added an 11th question.
That's what I want to hear about.
The 11th question is there anything we didn't ask you in the ACE questions? Because those are just the 10 most common traumas. And next thing you know, oh my, when I lost my grandparent, we moved so many times. I had a lot of struggle with my siblings. People bullied me. So the 11th, the question that we didn't ask, that opened up everything. Okay, well, we actually had about 30 questions to start off. We just picked the 10 most common. And so the 11th turned out to be very pivotal. And we added a 12th question. Again, this is from the feedback of tens of thousands of people that had gone through it and worked with us.
Yes.
12th question. What impact did that adverse childhood experience have on your life at the time and years later? Please share that now. People got to share and express the impact, which nobody had really ever asked them before. It's a brand new question.
Yes.
Right? What impact did it have? And when they thought about it, well, that's when I started experimenting with drugs. That's when I became promiscuous. That's when I got really anxious and shut down and went from being outgoing to really not wanting to be. So the time it happened, the age it happened, and then the impact years and decades later turned out to be very important. So we're getting to some of the highlights of the ACE, of course, because I know you're interested, and I hope your viewers are interested.
Oh, they are. And some people may have never heard of it, but they're starting to relate already. Like, what is he meaning? Weight gain?
Right.
Trauma?
Right.
Sexual abuse? I was sexually abused, but I got over that. But I can't seem to lose weight. I'm always in pain.
Exactly.
I have 3 autoimmune diseases that I can't seem to contain and control.
Right. So at what age, we would ask, did you first start to gain weight? Why then? Why not 2 years earlier? Why not 2 years later? That was the year that I was raped by a boyfriend that I never really related. Yeah, I gained 50 pounds that year.
Yep.
I wanted to keep people away. I didn't want any guys bothering me. And the weight gain seemed to keep the riffraff away. So the overeating actually was a solution, not just a problem. So we learned that from all these people. As we talked about before, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again, we listen. We learn. These are our teachers. The people that we're working with, the people we're helping, they're helping us. They're helping us learn. And Dr. Felitti and I are both very curious and open-minded people, open-hearted people. We want to know people's stories. We're very interested. And once people feel like they can tell us their story and not be judged and actually still be accepted and even invited back, and we want to see them again.
Yes.
That was their deepest, darkest secret. They didn't think anyone would ever want to see them again after they told us that.
Right.
But it was the opposite. We were even more intrigued.
Yes.
We wanted to hear more. And what could we do to help other people from your experience? And people were very open. We have hundreds of hours of videos of people because their message was, if I can help somebody not have to go through what I went through, I will put this on video.
Yes, they wanted to stop the bleeding.
Yes, so helpful. So the ACE study is the largest study that's ever been done in the area of mental health. It's correlated with cardiovascular disease significantly, with cancer, with autoimmune illnesses. More than 60% of adults in the U.S. have had an ACE, a trauma, an adverse childhood experience. So the majority of us have had trauma in our life. It's not unusual. It's most of us. And a lot of us have had 4 or more, which are the predictors for addictions, because of course addictions are solutions. How can I get rid of the pain? How can I manage this? How can I cope? How can I not think about it? How can I not feel about it? And addictions help us numb out, whether it's food or prescription drugs or, illegal drugs. They help us numb out.
Yeah.
Being numb is better than being in pain until people get to heal the root cause.
The root cause, yes.
That's the takeaway. Treatment solutions, because we can think better, think smarter, do all these techniques and approach it different. We can meditate all year, all decade, meditate, mindfulness. We can do everything.
Yes.
And until we get to the root cause and resolve it, it's going to keep coming back. But most people think getting to the root cause is going to be very painful. You have to dig it all up. You have to stir it up. No, You start feeling better right away. And you
Wow.
keep feeling better because the techniques are so fascinating. They're so interesting, and you're healing. You're
Yeah.
actually resolving. And I'll share techniques. They're just phenomenal. How you don't have to go back and dig it all up.
Right.
Not necessary. It's actually not even advisable, because then you tend to feel worse. Just dig it all up and then feel worse. No, we don't want to do that. We want to feel better now and going forward.
Forward.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that is just so fascinating. And with my limited knowledge and research over the years, especially being an advocate and facilitator of early childhood education and early childhood care and development, and with that coupled education, because I always believe in the care and development and then the educational piece, because when we think education, we're talking about the institutionalization,
Right.
institution of early childhood education. So many of our listeners are high performance, high functioning,
Right.
yet, as you said, we have this unconscious pain, and we're hurting silently. Can you break down in your words why success doesn't mean healing? Because I can say this, I'm just going to throw this out there. While the world looks on at the Diddy case, are you familiar with that background?
Of course.
Psychologists and mental health professionals and, has been discussing, they have this film, The Making of Diddy, and when we look at Diddy's life, I think this guy checked all 13 to 1,500 of the aces.
Yes.
Just by the time he was a boy,
Right.
Maybe 11 years old.
Right.
And this is me listening, because I'm not one, as someone say, doesn't excuse it. He's a monster. And yes, he's become a monster. But if we're going to have less monsters, we got to go to the root cause of where do monsters come from? And
Right.
so while we call it the making of Diddy, I want to say, what's the making of a monster, right?
Right.
And so some of us, we have many monsters in our unconscious. Tell us about, we got Diddy all the way. He's been so successful, but his aces haunted the heck out of him. And this is where we are right now we're having this case and so many hurt people. Why the success doesn't mean healing.
Right. Well, it's so interesting you would ask that question, because there is outer resilience, cars, money, fame, and there is inner resilience, emotional, healing, wisdom, and those two don't necessarily connect at all.
Come on now.
Yes, that outer success, that outer resilience is not an indicator of how the person is on the inside at all.
No indication.
No. In fact, an example very much connected to the Diddy case, one of the patients that Dr. Felitti and I have worked with for a number of years, federal court judge. Obviously, that says a lot. Now, her ACE score is a 10. All 10 aces. She wrote a book about it. Her traumas were horrendous, beyond your imagination. All that she went through as a kid, a lot like Diddy. Very similar. On the outside, though, and somewhat like Diddy, she had phenomenal success. Law degree, graduated, federal judge. That's amazing. Nice house, nice car, all the outer. On the inside, she had 3 different cancers. Okay. She had a number of different autoimmune illnesses. And so inside, she was really hurting emotionally, physically, mentally. But the resilience of her, everybody, wow, she's so resilient. Look what she's been through. That's amazing. But on the inside, not at all. So the healing is the inner, and you'll hear from successful people. I just saw it the other day one of the most successful golfers, I think he's number one in the world, said that winning golf tournaments just doesn't do much for him.
Anymore.
Yeah, he got all the success on the outside. He just kind of keeps going. So
how about Will Smith? There's a viral video. Exactly. Will Smith talking about having everything, could buy himself everything, and he's looking in the mirror and he's like, he's empty.
Exactly. So the inner resilience, the healing and resolving of the ACEs, the adverse childhood experiences, are essentials for health and happiness. If you don't do it, all the money in the world won't help. We've certainly seen billionaires that are miserable. They can have anything, but they're very unhappy people. You can see it in their face. But on the outside, they have all the houses, all the cars, they have the airplane, they have everything, and they're struggling on the inside.
Yes.
All of us have been impacted by ACEs.
Yes.
Even if we're not the 60% that have an ACE, our parents had ACEs. They raised us. Our grandparents had ACEs.
So we're automatically with their ACEs.
Multi-generational
ACEs.
Exactly. And it'll go on for generations also, unless we break the patterns and do the inner work and heal and resolve. Yeah. So yes, this has been going on for many, many generations. We know that. We know what our parents went through, what our grandparents, great-grandparents. Wasn't an easy life for them, just as it's not an easy life now. So people have ACEs, but almost always they're untreated. There's the cancer, there's the autoimmune illnesses, there's the cardiovascular disease. It's not that they have ACEs. It's not that we have ACEs. It's they go untreated. Yes. They go unresolved. So it's not the ACEs. It's the unresolved ACEs.
Yes.
Yes.
This is, oh gosh. I have like 500 questions that popped in my head, but I'm only going to use 2 because we have a lot more to cover. And of course, guys, we've already agreed that Dr. Alman is going to have a full series on this podcast, not so we can learn everything from him, but so that we can unpack some of the brevity of his work. And it's so needed to have in this space with so many of you. We're grateful for you all that listen and watch. What came to mind for me was one of the things, because you said that it's the unhealed one. And the success. And I have so many people in my circle, overachievers that I work with, that have suffered. Right. And a lot of us, there's also viral videos from even some well-known mental health professionals, blah, blah, blah. And they say, I want you to take that pain and journal it and use it as fuel.
Right.
And Doc, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm not a psychologist, but something within me that just doesn't sit right with me.
Exactly.
I guess every time I hear it and I want to hit subscribe to it, because I think I checked, I had at least 7 ACEs, right? And then the other ones that are not on there,
right?
The most common. I had some of those too, right?
Right.
And then my mom and dad, they checked off so many, right?
Yeah. Me too.
I want you to give us some feedback, because high achievers, we are the ones who will be the first to tell us, I take the pain and what they did to me and I use it as fuel.
Yeah.
And I had this, when I first heard it in my inner circle, I said, man, don't you think that, my question was, would you buy oil, bottle olive oil, and put it in your gasoline tank for your car?
Right.
No, you won't.
No.
So would you take this pain? The only thing you want to do with pain is understand how it's affecting you. Maybe I'm not the psychiatrist or psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wannabe psychologist. I haven't gotten there yet.
Well,
but you won't put that olive oil in the tank. So I'm not sure that you want to run on that. But Doc, tell us. Give us feedback.
Right. Okay. I completely agree with you, because I speak with these people that are the evangelists, the doctors, the healers, the people everyone follows, and you can't be negative, and you need to stop, and you need to channel it into positive, and stop thinking like that. You're not allowed negative thoughts, and just get rid of it. And it's like, really? You really think people can do that? It's ridiculous. That's absurd.
You can pray it away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Don't mean to step on any toes. I'm a good Christian girl, but I'm not religious. And
that could never work anyway. Right. So the advice, a lot of people will jump into it because it sounds good. It sounds like a magic answer. Yes. Oh, if I just follow these rules and I just do these things, I'll be all better. It never works because I know these people. I know it doesn't work. And I know the people that study and they get the weekend high or they feel better and then it all comes back, because you really have to get to that inner wisdom, that inner doctor, as I called it. And this is surprising, is that underneath the pain, underneath the sad, underneath the tragic, underneath the fear, the worry, the negative expectations, the hurts, all of those things, that's where the gold is. That's where the inner wisdom is. So going through the layers and going through I think of it like this. Think of the rings of the tree. And we're trees. We still have the 1-year-old inside of us, like the first ring of the tree. And all the rings of the tree represent a different year of our life. So you and I could regress to being 5 years old with one song, one movie, one story. We can be 5 years old and either be playful or upset, depending on what was happening with us 5 years old.
Yes.
So we can go back to the 13-year-old in us, the 13-year-old ring, and be rebellious and not want to listen to anybody and be sure we're right and all of that. We're at the 13. So what people try to do, and like the advice that you and I hear so much, what they try to do is they want to cut the tree in half, dig out the rings that were traumatic or difficult, the 7-year-old ring, the 12, and then glue the tree back together. That's not going to work.
That is the best analogy ever.
That tree is not going to keep growing. You can't do it. You have to be, with the skills, with the techniques that we'll share, you have to be the present you, the present ring. And then you have to go inside and really connect with the 7-year-old ring, the 7-year-old you, the 14-year-old you, but not just connect, actually do the inner work, the inner healing. And like you said, you're not a psychologist, you are loving, you are caring. I know you, I know how you are, I see the way you are. That essence goes to the ring of the tree, the ace, the trauma, and that's the beginning of the breakthroughs. And the techniques and the skills to do that are really specific, tailored and personalized, fit you. So in a way, you're interviewing each one, utilize who you are in the present to really connect, to build trust, reassurance, love, acceptance, a reciprocal relationship, because most people do what we talked about. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of that 5-year-old you. Just get rid of that teenage you. Just cut that tree in half. Get rid of that ring of the tree. Okay. Yeah. There's no way you can never do that. That's ridiculous and interesting advice, And
it's like, you can do it. Just change your mindset.
Right.
And I'm like, there's steps and there's levels to this, and this is work that you're going to do. But this is why we love your work, because you have found over thousands of work and testing to unlock this and make, I don't want to call it simplicity, but the reconnection. How I look at your work, Doc, is, so I have this microphone that has a magnet and I can remove it. And so they're not connected because the aces got in the way.
Right. Exactly.
And what you're doing is you're bringing back those pieces and connecting. So the communication signal is back in connection.
Exactly. And paradoxically, it's so odd and so simple that the ACEs and what we went through at 5 or 7 or 14 or whatever we went through, that part of us, that age, that ring of the tree needs healing. You can't just move on and just shut it up or just overthink it and just, you're not allowed to be negative. No, it actually needs love and healing and support. And there are beautiful techniques, beautiful solutions that help you feel better right away. And here's the important thing about all the techniques that we've learned, thanks to all these hundreds of thousands of people, is that you will be integrating them into your daily life. And at first it takes, like you said, it's the inner work, the inner mind-body healing, mind, body, heart, and soul takes all that. And then it becomes second nature. It becomes automatic. You end up developing a pool of inner resilience within you, like stem cells that are available anytime to help you through difficult situations when you get triggered. And that's the inner work. That's the inner healing. That's the ACE work. And people are delighted and amazed at how much they can accomplish. We hear it all the time. I never thought I'd ever resolve that. I never thought I'd feel better. I can't believe how much better I feel. And I don't totally understand. People will say, how come I'm feeling so much better? And how come I'm doing so much better? Well, you don't really have to understand it. The important thing is to integrate it and activate it. It's not analysis. It's not therapy.
Yes.
It's really you becoming more the whole, total you.
Right.
And enjoying your new skills and your new techniques. And like you said, as an educator, contributing to the world to make it a better place, developing your unconscious potential.
Yes.
And it's actually joyful. People find it really delightful. If I knew it was going to feel this good, I would have done this decades ago.
Earlier. And not try to hide it and stuff it.
Yeah.
The question that the other part of that question that I had that popped into my head and heart was, let me say this the right way. How about those? So ACEs are directly connected to our childhood.
Right.
What do we call the ones? So I grew up, I had a great childhood, but I'm 16. I met this guy. I think I'm in love. He's crazy about me. I'm crazy about him. And I make it up to, last year of high school and we break up.
Right.
I got a heartbreak. Does that count in the ACEs or is that just?
No, it does. That would be what we spoke about before. That would be probably the 11th question where you get to share that ACE. And ACEs are from birth to 18, your story.
Oh, okay.
Now, we have added, because of all of our experience, adverse adult experiences. Because like loss of a loved one or a job or whatever it is that was traumatic, your own health issues. So we've added questions that are adverse adult questions because not all traumas happen before 18. So we added that, and you'll be curious about this also. This is thanks to thousands of people. We added, Dr. Felitti and I, another assessment called positive childhood experiences. And so we added another 10 questions, which became 12, because we didn't ask you, because people would say to us, I had a very difficult relationship with one of my parents. And it was traumatic. It was emotionally abusive. They were very critical. It was really hard on me. I always expected to be perfect. I even expected myself to be perfect. And of course, I was never perfect. Yeah. And I had a teacher who really understood me and supported me and was nice to me. And it really helped me. And, whether it's theater or music or English or science, whatever it was. So we said, people have had positive childhood experiences too. Let's add the same questions, but the positive version, and give people a PC, positive childhood experiences score. And then we learn to utilize those to help them with their ACEs, because those are inside of them too. And
Yes.
those are the rings of the tree.
Again, we're not taking exactly.
Right. And so that all the breakthroughs, all the big moves, all the big ahas, all the epiphanies really came from working with people and learning from patients, members, clients, people, right? And that's an example. That's something that developed because of feedback.
Right. I remember one of my siblings, we were talking about, we were sharing a childhood memory, and she was like, how is it that you always seem to remember these things and you remember all the good stuff? And I'm like, I was like, no, I remember the bad stuff too.
Yeah.
But I guess my way is not only, I didn't flip it or anything.
Right.
In those horrible moments, there was humor, there was joy, there was laughter, but then there was the pain.
See, yeah, we're both.
So
right.
I remember experiencing that, but I also remember experiencing this. And somehow, I don't know if that was part of me healing, that was part of my healing. But I believe, loving your terminology of the rings of the tree, right?
Right.
It's all part of me.
Right. You're really getting to an important point about the healing of ACEs and utilizing the positive experiences, that inside of all of us is an inner wise woman, inner wise man, inner doctor, inner healer, inner coach, inner teacher. We all have that, and learning the techniques gets us connected to that, but it's already inside of us. It's not like Dr. Felitti and I invented this and give it to people.
Right.
It's in all of us. The thing is, like we said about the lead, it's buried under all the layers, under all the lead, before you can find the gold and find the inner voice, inner wise woman, inner doctor. So you have to go through those rings of the tree. And, you know, with trees, if it's a drought year, there's a jagged ring. And if it's a rainy year, the ring changes shape. So in a year of life, we can have droughts and storms and peace and laughter. So they're all impacting us.
Yes.
And we have to resolve the difficult ones because they don't just go away. Like time heals all wounds is not true. Right? It's just not true.
So why do you think your great grandma is still mad at your great grandfather?
Yeah.
And she's still a bitter, quiet woman that doesn't say anything at the family reunion.
Exactly.
Because those wounds didn't get healed from when he cheated on her in 1922.
Right.
I mean, I'm extra, but
no, it's true, because I'll hear from people. I thought when I turned 30, I'd be over it. Are you kidding me? I'm not a kid. I'm not a teenager. I thought when I turned 40, this won't bother me at all, because 40 is like getting old. So when I turned 40, and then people will say, well, 50, I mean, come on. And it's still bothering me. 60, 70, 80, 90, because we see people of all chronological ages. Chronological age has nothing to do with it. You're still just an older version of you.
Exactly.
You still have all those rings of the tree that are still unresolved. They don't get resolved because you turn 30 or you turn 40, even though you hope and pray it will.
Right.
It doesn't. You still have to go do the work. I mean, one of the people that I worked with is in his 90s, and he's happier than he's ever been in his life because he did the work. Right? So it's not a chronological age thing, and time does not heal all wounds.
Time does what time does, and you need to do what you need to do, period. I thought that was, and people say, and this too shall pass.
Right.
No, the only thing that goes by is time. You get to decide how you use it. And again, that's still on the merit that time is an illusion.
Right.
But that's what we measure. Our time, can't even get away from saying time, our experience.
Yes. Well, but here's the interesting piece of what we're talking about too, is that it's actually easier. You use the word simple. It's actually easier to do the inner work and the inner healing than it is to not do the inner work and the inner healing. That's hard. That's difficult. That's painful. Yes. Doing it, it's like getting thorns out. It's like, oh my God, that feels so much better. Oh, I feel so much
better. Or throwing up. Like,
it feels,
throwing up feels really terrible while you are throwing up, but when you're done, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got that out. And I'm being gross.
No, it's a good one, because I heard somebody recently say, I'm angry all the time. It's like mental vomit. I have to keep getting it out. I have to keep getting it out. I'm just always angry. And I said,
you're only letting a little come out.
And I said, yeah, but you're projectiling it onto other people. This is not great. Let's kind of do something about this.
Funny.
Fortunately, we did the work and he was better at it. But that was his description, exactly what you said.
Yeah, let's think about it. When you have an upset stomach, that thing is so unsettling and it makes you miserable and uneasy. It's the worst. I mean, for me, it's one of the worst feelings in the world. And I tell people I'm the one that throws up because I threw up. When I'm done, I feel better.
Right.
So that hits, and I know that someone is listening just realized they've been functioning on top of unprocessed fear, and they're burnt out because of it. Right. So Dr. Alman, now that you've talked about unconscious mind being the key to the real transformation and going down to those layers, how do we begin to even access that when we're still stuck in survival mode?
Well, the first thing is that I have decided to give a couple of gifts to all of your viewers that's going to make a big difference to them, because you're so generous. As I told you, I've been watching so many of you. You're such a giver. I decided, you know what? I'm going to match that.
Hello, Disruptors, and thank you for tuning in with us to this wonderful and exceptional, informative episode with the one and only Dr. Brian Alman. You have been tuned to part 1, When Pain Speaks, the hidden link between trauma and your health. And in part 2, coming right up, Healing from the Inside Out, a new path to resilience and longevity. I know that this episode has been transformative, and it's definitely going to cause some level of change in your life as you seek to continue to heal, grow, and glow. But don't be selfish. Share it with someone that you know, someone that you love. And listen, our team has been telling me that there are over 13,000 of you following us on Apple alone, and we average about 15,000 downloads a week. We want to hear from you. We want your input, and we would love to welcome you to our community. So click the link below and join us at the MM360 community, and also send me an email. Let us know how you love the podcast, what it's done for you. We'd love to feature your testimonials and your transformation. And also, we would love to know who you would love to see on Mindset Mastery Moments and what you want to hear from us. Get over to part 2. I'll be waiting to hear you over there. Bye.